I'm going to give you 44 cheat codes to unlock insane focus on command. Number 1 is something called RIRT. Casinos have used this hack for centuries to keep people gambling, and now huge companies have weaponized your dopamine system to keep you distracted. You see, rewarding yourself after every task makes your brain associate the reward with satisfaction instead of the work itself. Don't reward yourself every time you reach a goal or have a win, but instead randomly reward yourself after accomplishing some milestones. And this creates the same addiction mechanism as slot machines, meaning your brain starts craving the work itself. Number 2 is the getting things done brain dump system. Your brain is running 20 background processes all at once. Unfinished tasks, random thoughts, and things you need to remember. And trying to hold multiple pieces of information reduces your IQ by up to 10 points, meaning you literally get dumber. Your brain can only handle a maximum of 4 pieces of information simultaneously. So before any work session, spend 5 minutes writing down every task, idea, or worry in your head. This clears your mental RAM so your brain can focus 100% on the task at hand. Number 3 is the one thing. Working on 10 different things makes mediocre progress in everything instead of massive progress in what actually matters. People who focus on one task are 50% more efficient than multitaskers. Ask yourself this every morning. What's the one thing that I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? If you plan your day around this one thing, your peak mental energy will go to your highest impact activity. Cheat code number 4 is batching similar tasks together. Task switching destroys productivity. Every switch costs you up to 23 minutes to fully reclaim focus, because your brain has to deactivate old neural networks and activate new ones every time you switch. And this creates cognitive residue that pretty much prevents deep focus. You want to group similar activities together. For example, all calls in one block, all emails in another, and all creative work together. As a result, you maintain deep focus within each category and dramatically increase efficiency and productivity. Number 5 is having calendar slots for messaging. And while this might seem counterintuitive, I want you to understand that the average person checks their phone about 96 times a day, pretty much once every less than 10 minutes. And the crazy thing is that every time you check your phone, you fragment your attention and spike cortisol. And as we just saw, after every interruption, it takes about 23 minutes to fully reclaim your focus. So instead, set 3 specific times in the day for messaging. For example, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. Outside these windows, phone stays in airplane mode. As a result, your focus blocks stay protected while you remain responsive to important communications. Number 6 is the 90% rule. Saying yes to mediocre opportunities prevents you from saying yes to extraordinary ones. Having too many options decreases performance and creates something called decision paralysis. Instead, what you want to do is rate every opportunity you're presented with from a scale of 1 to 10. If it's not a 9 or a 10, then it's automatically a no, because you only need to invest your focus in activities that create massive results. The 7th cheat code is something called monotasking. What you know is multitasking, and multitasking is a lie. It's actually rapid task switching that destroys productivity. Multitasking increases stress hormones and literally shrinks your brain's attention control center. Instead, do only one thing at a time with complete presence. When you eat, just eat. When you work, just work. That way, your brain develops the ability to sustain attention for extended periods. Number 8 is the commitment trigger. Researchers analyzed over 1,000 parole hearings across a full workday. In the morning, judges granted parole in 70% of cases. But in the afternoon, that number dropped to below 10%. You know what's crazy? The crimes were the same, the rules were the same, and the files were the same. But the outcomes were radically different, all because of the judges' decision fatigue. You see, every time you sit down to work, your brain burns mental energy just deciding what to do first. And the craziest thing is that this decision fatigue can reduce your cognitive capacity by up to 40% before you even start working. What I want you to do is write down this exact phrase. If context, then I start task for duration. For example, if I sit on my desk tomorrow at 9 a.m., then I start writing for 90 minutes. Then take this note and post it somewhere that you can see. It can either be in a sticky note or it can either be in your wallpaper. And when the conditions are met, I want you to act on it without even thinking. This creates an automatic trigger that saves your mental energy for the actual work instead of wasting it on what to work on. Number 9 is monk meals. Eating while scrolling or watching TV creates dopamine stacking that makes everything else you'll do after feel boring. You're flooding your brain with multiple dopamine sources, raising your baseline threshold for stimulation. What you want to do instead is eat your meals in complete silence. No phone, no TV, no music, just you and the food. As a result, your dopamine sensitivity resets, making focused work genuinely rewarding again. Cheat code number 10 is prime time deep work. Scheduling based on external demands instead of your actual energy rhythms is pretty much like swimming upstream. Your cortisol levels peak around 30 to 45 minutes after waking up, enhancing your focus and cognitive performance. But most people waste this precious time doing emails. You want to track your energy every hour for 1 week. Find out when you feel your most alert, and then once you've identified that, schedule your most important work during your so-called prime time. Then your best energy flows toward high impact activities instead of being wasted on trivial tasks. Number 11 is working in ultradian rhythms. Your brain operates in natural 90-minute cycles, but most people fight this instead of actually using it. Now, working beyond these cycles leads to diminishing returns and mental fatigue as your brain starts running low on neurotransmitters. You want to work on 90-minute blocks followed by a 10 to 20-minute break. And during your break, you want to avoid high stimulation activities. That way, you work with your biology instead of fighting your biology, and as a result, maintaining peak performance for 6 to 8 hours every single day. Cheat code number 12 is getting over 2 hours of REM sleep every night. REM sleep actually produces most of your daily testosterone. In a well-controlled lab study, young healthy men restricted to 5 hours of sleep per night for a week lost over an hour of REM sleep and saw their testosterone levels drop by 10 to 15%. You need a 9-hour sleep window to ensure 8 hours or more of actual sleep. And REM sleep occurs in the last 4 hours of your normal 8-hour window. Now, this directly impacts your focus and mental energy because REM clears brain waste and restores your neurotransmitters. Number 13 is what's called caveman lighting. You see, bright lights until bedtime can suppress melatonin production for up to 3 hours. Evening bright light delays your circadian rhythm and reduces your sleep quality significantly, essentially because your brain thinks that it's still daytime. You want to turn off all overhead lights 3 hours before bed and instead use only dim, below eye level, fire-like colors. Your sleep quality improves dramatically, leading to better focus and energy the next day. Number 14 is magnesium bisglycinate or threonate. 68% of Americans are magnesium deficient, and this destroys focus and sleep quality. When you're deficient in magnesium, your brain literally can't calm down enough for you to focus properly. Take 200 to 400 milligrams before bed of either magnesium bisglycinate or L-threonate. Your brain will then be able to maintain calm, sustained focus because your neurons fire at optimal levels. Number 15 is L-theanine. When you drink coffee, it gives you energy, but often comes with jitters and crashes that destroy your focus quality. Caffeine increases alertness, but also spikes stress hormones, giving you anxiety that impairs your ability to think clearly. Take 100 to 200 milligrams of L-theanine with your coffee. This amino acid increases calming GABA production. As a result, you get all of the alertness and energy and focus, but without the jitters and anxiety. Number 16 is glycine. Waking up tired after 7 to 8 hours means that your sleep quality is poor and not that you're not sleeping enough. And without adequate glycine, you spend more time in light sleep and less in the restorative deep sleep phases. You want to take 1 to 3 grams of glycine 30 minutes before bed. What glycine will do is that it will lower your body temperature and calm down your nervous system so that you're able to enter deep sleep. As a result, you wake up feeling refreshed with restored neurotransmitter levels and better cognitive performance. Cheat code number 17 is creatine monohydrate. Your brain uses creatine for energy just like your muscles, but most people never think about this. You see, the thing is that your brain consumes 20% of your body's energy despite being only 2% of your body's total body weight. Low creatine means sluggish thinking. Take 5 grams daily. Research shows at least 5 to 15% improvement in cognitive performance and especially sustained attention. Number 18 is saffron extract. Mood swings kill your ability to focus and maintain motivation throughout the day. And some studies have shown that saffron extract can be as effective as Adderall or Ritalin for ADHD. Take 30 milligrams daily of standardized extract with at least 0.3% crosins. As a result, your dopamine baseline stays high, your mood stays stable, making it easier for you to maintain focus without emotional ups and downs. Number 19 is rhodiola rosea. Even low-level stress fragments your focus and makes deep work impossible. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which impairs your working memory and makes you easily distracted. You want to take 300 to 600 milligrams on an empty stomach 30 to 60 minutes before your deep work. This adaptogen will actually help your brain handle stress. As a result, you maintain focus and sharp thinking during high-stakes, high-pressure situations. Number 20 is agmatin sulfate. Mental fatigue and brain fog hit hardest during afternoon sessions when your motivation drops. Agmatin actually modulates focus neurotransmitters and increases your blood flow to the brain. Take 500 milligrams to 1 gram daily on an empty stomach, half when you wake up, half before you start work, and half before you go to bed. Mental clarity improves and brain fog disappears, making your afternoon work sessions as sharp as the morning ones. Number 21 is Sabroxy and Polygala. Your brain's energy factories start declining in your 20s, leading to mental fatigue that gets worse over time. Sabroxy boosts brain cell energy production, while Polygala increases BDNF, which is pretty much fertilizer for your brain cells. Take them together in the morning, Sabroxy at 100 to 200 milligrams, and Polygala at 100 to 300 milligrams. Number 22 is caffeine optimization. Drinking coffee immediately upon waking up and late in the day works against your biology. Early caffeine causes adenosine buildup that creates massive crashes. Late caffeine, on the other hand, can reduce deep sleep by up to 30%. What you want to do is drink caffeine 90 minutes after waking and never within 10 hours of bedtime. You get sustained energy without crashes and maintain high quality sleep for optimal next day performance. Number 23 is dopamine layering. Stacking coffee, music, social media, and intense workouts seems motivating, but it destroys your ability to find simple tasks rewarding. Multiple dopamine sources create tolerance, meaning your brain needs more stimulation to feel motivated, and simple work becomes unbearably boring. Limit yourself to maximum 2 dopamine sources at once, coffee or music, not both, especially when you're working. That way your dopamine sensitivity stays high, making normal activities genuinely engaging instead of needing constant stimulation. Number 24 is a walking pad. Sitting for hours decreases brain blood flow, starves your neurons from oxygen, and makes you feel sluggish and tired. Your brain literally starts shutting down when your body is sedentary. BDNF production drops and inflammation increases. Walk at about 1 to 2 miles per hour during light work or calls. Even gentle movement dramatically increases your brain blood flow. Your brain gets consistent oxygen delivery, leading to sharper thinking and sustained mental energy. Cheat code 25 is alternating between seated and standing. Research shows that after about 1 to 2 hours of static sitting, people make more errors, feel more discomfort, and cognitive tasks like creative problem solving start to suffer. It's because static positions compress blood vessels and allow metabolic waste to accumulate in the brain, causing brain fog. You want to change positions after every 45 to 60 minutes, alternating between seating, standing, and walking. As a result, your brain maintains optimal blood flow and waste clearance for peak cognitive performance all day. Number 26 is upright posture. Your posture directly affects your energy and focus. You see, when you slouch, your ribcage compresses and forces shallow breathing. Now, your brain needs 20% of your body's oxygen, which means that shallow breathing won't allow your brain to get as much oxygen as it needs, making you think less clearly and being more foggy. Maintain an upright posture with your shoulders back and your chest open. A pro tip here would be to set hourly reminders, especially if your posture tends to be slouched. As a result, your brain gets optimal oxygen delivery for efficient neural firing and clearer thinking. Number 27 is monitor placement. You see, poor screen ergonomics drains mental energy, but there's also a neurological component that most people miss. You see, looking down puts your brain in a less alert state, but looking slightly upwards activates certain parts of the brain that are responsible for making you alert. Position your monitor so that the top is at eye level and about an arm's length away. Your gaze should be slightly upwards, just like how I'm looking looking at the camera right now. That way, your brain's alertness systems stay engaged while eliminating physical stress that drains your mental energy. Number 28 is boring workouts. Working out with music and entertainment trains your brain to need constant stimulation during challenging activities. This creates what's called stimulus dependency, which simply means that your brain can't find satisfaction without novelty and entertainment. You want to exercise without music or podcasts at least 2 to 3 times a week. Focus on your form, your breathing, and your feelings of your body. You build mental resilience that transfers to maintaining focus during difficult tasks. Number 29 is a dedicated space for focused work. You see, your brain creates location-based associations that either help or hurt your focus. Using the same space for entertainment and work confuses your brain because your brain expects distractions from that location. You want to create one space exclusively for focused work and never use it for entertainment or any casual activities. Your brain automatically enters focus mode simply by sitting in this space through something called neuroplasticity. Cheat code number 30 is a clean desk. Visual clutter creates cognitive load that consumes mental resources even when you're not aware of it. Cluttered environments increase cortisol levels and force your brain to constantly filter irrelevant stimuli. Keep your workspace clear except for materials needed for your current task at hand. As a result, your brain dedicates 100% of its attention to work instead of processing visual distractions. 31 is having a bright light in front of your face. Working in dim environments signals to your brain that it's time to wind down, not focus intensely. But working in a bright environment stimulates your circadian rhythm and signals your brain to be alert and energized. Position a light that is over 2000 lux directly in front of your face during work hours. As a result, your brain maintains peak alertness instead of fighting natural drowsiness from inadequate light. Number 32 is visual anchoring. You see, your brain creates visual associations that trigger either focus states or distraction states. Seeing objects associated with entertainment activates distraction networks instead of focus networks. Place a specific object on your desk that you only use during focused work sessions. That visual cue automatically triggers focus networks, making it easier for you to enter deep concentration. Number 33 is having an air filter. Poor air quality can actually reduce cognitive performance by up to 15%. High CO2 levels in the air compromise brain oxygen levels, and indoor pollutants create inflammation that impairs neural function. Use an HEPA air filter in your workspace to maintain clear air without any pollutants and optimal oxygen levels. Cheat code 34 is a snake plant. You see, plants don't just look nice. They actively improve cognitive performance through multiple mechanisms. Snake plants, for example, release oxygen during the night and filter toxins. As a result, they reduce cortisol by 15% and activate attention restoration mechanisms. Place a snake plant in your office where you can see it during work sessions. Your stress decreases, air quality improves, and you can maintain focus for longer without mental fatigue. Number 35 is 40 Hz binaural beats. You see, your brain operates on different frequencies for different cognitive states, and you can tune these states for optimal focus. 40 Hz is associated with gamma brainwaves, which is the heightened attention state. And binaural beats simply synchronize your brain to this frequency. Play 40 Hz binaural beats through your headphones during work. Keep your volume low. Basically, you should just barely notice it. As a result, your brain synchronizes to the optimal frequencies for focus, improving your attention and information processing. Cheat code number 36 is the focus trigger. Your brain can be trained to enter focus states on command using something called classical conditioning. Consistently pairing a sensory cue with focused work creates neural pathways that automatically activate focus networks. You want to use the same trigger every time you start focused work. A specific song, a candle scent, or simply putting on your headphones. As a result, your brain develops a conditioned response that instantly flips you into focus mode. Number 37 is grayscale. Bright colors on your phone trigger dopamine release and drain your mental energy. Tech companies use neuroscientists to make their apps ultra addictive. And as a result, colors make your brain use your phone like a dopamine slot machine. You want to turn your phone into grayscale mode in your accessibility settings. As a result, your brain becomes significantly less interested in your phone because it no longer triggers the same dopamine response. Number 38 is a supplement called Vinatex. You see, simple ingredient nootropics usually provide minimal benefits, but specific combinations create powerful synergistic effects. Vinatex combines mung bean extract with passion flower extract, and together they create something called relaxed alertness, which which is optimal for sustained focus. Take one capsule 30 to 60 minutes before deep work sessions, and its effects last for about 4 to 6 hours. It makes you calm enough to avoid distractions, but alert enough for peak performance. Number 39 is a kitchen timer. Using your phone as a timer keeps distractions within arm's reach, but a kitchen timer is a focus weapon. You see, physical timers are extremely powerful for focus because of 3 reasons. The first reason is that the timer can actually sync your work to your brain's natural ultradian rhythms, which means you can put your timer on for a 90-minute cycle, allowing you to leverage the ultradian rhythms properly and get the most out of your work blocks. The second reason is because of something called cognitive load reduction. Most entrepreneurs sit down and don't set clear limits for their tasks. When you do this, your subconscious tries to manage your time and to endlessly decide when it should stop. This causes decision fatigue and reduces your actual focus and productivity on the task at hand. But when you have a clear time to complete your work, it allows your brain to allocate all of its energy and focus to the actual work rather than time management. And the third reason it works is because of something called Parkinson's law. The Parkinson's law is a law that states that work expands to fill the time available, which means that if you have a deadline for a specific project in 2 weeks from now, chances are that you will probably take those entire 2 weeks to finish that project. Using a timer creates an artificial time constraint that drastically reduces procrastination and increases your focus by strategically leveraging Parkinson's law in your advantage. Number 40 is holding your pee for 90 minutes. This sounds ridiculous, but slight bladder discomfort actually enhances your focus, alertness, and decision making. You see, having a full bladder activates specific areas in the brain responsible for alertness and sustained attention. So during your 90-minute work blocks, you want to avoid bathroom breaks unless completely necessary. As a result, that brain region stays activated, improving your ability to resist distractions and stay focused. Cheat code number 41 is optimal hydration. Even a 2% dehydration can reduce cognitive performance by up to 23%. And most people are actually chronically dehydrated. You see, dehydration shrinks brain tissue, thickens blood, and reduces neurotransmitter production. For every hour you are awake in the first 10 hours of your day, drink 240 milliliters of water. Apart from that, you want to drink in total 35 ml per kilogram of your body weight daily, and add a pinch of Himalayan salt for electrolyte balance. Number 42 is meal optimization. High carb meals create blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes that destroy your focus. Sugar spikes trigger massive insulin responses that pretty much crash your brain's primary fuel source. Mainly for your first meal of the day, eat mostly proteins and fats. You want to avoid refined carbs and sugar for that meal, and keep the majority of your carbs for later in the evening when it aligns with you being a little bit more sleepy and more tired. By doing that, your blood sugar stays stable for the times of the day when your work needs to be at its sharpest. Cheat code number 43 is website and app blockers. Relying on willpower to avoid distractions wastes mental energy you need for focused work. Every act of self-control depletes glucose in your prefrontal cortex. Use apps and softwares like Cold Turkey or Freedom.to to block distracting sites during work hours. You want to remove the option entirely. As a result, you eliminate the mental battle against temptation, preserving cognitive resources for actual productive work. And number 44 is the DND setting. Notifications create continuous partial attention that fragments your focus and keeps your brain on high alert all the time. Each notification triggers a cortisol release, and most people get notifications every 6 to 12 minutes, pretty much never achieving deep focus. Turn on Do Not Disturb on all of your devices during your work sessions, and set specific times in the day when you check messages. That way, your nervous system stays calm and focused instead of constantly activated by digital interactions. And now that you know the 44 cheat codes to unlock insane focus, you need to take the next step and weaponize that focus to dominate your field. And there is a protocol I've started using recently that has allowed me to achieve more in a single morning than most people accomplish in the entire week. So watch this video where I show you what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to make hard work feel effortless and leave your competition in the dust.